Good morning. I'm not sure if you're there. Good morning, Maddie. I am in my son's room today. I couldn't find a better place, and I am in a very little corner of his room. I'm actually behind his bed. I had to move his bed, so it's not the best place for me to sit, but that's what I could find today. At least I brought a nice plant. Good morning, Alexandra. We will just wait a few seconds to start. Good morning, Camelia. Nice to not see you, not hear you, but know that you're there, Magdalena. You know, since I started these meditations, I keep saying that I recommend you to do your practice of meditation every day. If you can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. Half an hour is what I usually do every morning. I try to do it the first thing in the morning because afterwards it's like the whole mind starts to work and the whole life of what I'm supposed to do, what I don't need to do, all the duties of the day start to move in the mind, and then it becomes much more difficult to actually sit and stay seated for a period of time. And the best for me and for in tradition is to do the meditation the first thing in the morning. The earlier the better, because the earlier means before the buzzing of the city, the buzzing of everybody's mind start to move. Before that, to start the meditation. And also what I keep saying is that in these Wednesday meditations, I often change the meditations. I often present a different possibility of what meditation can do. I present a different idea, a different form. But what I keep saying is that I recommend you to not to do that, to just to have one structure, one idea, one form to meditate, and to stick with that form for a long period of time. Then if you feel like you accomplish what you wanted, or you feel that you want to do something different, that's okay. But not to change every day to do a different thing, but to stay with one and to try to go deep into that one meditation. And today I want to do a meditation that we have done before, but I feel that this is the kind of meditation that we should try to repeat every day. And I feel very important to start every morning with the kind of meditation that we will do today. And the meditation that we will do today, one way to call it is simply embracing what is, or allowing the moment to be as it is, or not resisting what we find. These are all different ways that we can call this meditation, although of course it doesn't have a name. And the meditation is very simply based on the fact that whatever appears in this moment, not even 1 second from now, but whatever appears in this particular moment is exactly what it has to be, and it cannot be any other way. This is a fact. This is it's like a law. Like if you throw a heavy object, or if you throw an object on the planet Earth, if you throw an object, the object is going to fall because of gravity, and that is a law. There is no way that unless you create a no gravity room, unless you create a very particular, in general, on the planet Earth, if you let go of an object, the object is going to fall down. That is a law. And the fact that this moment is exactly what is also a law. And it's a law that has to do with an infinite cause and effect, starting at the very beginning of time. Whatever happened at the beginning of time, we can call it the Big Bang. We have no idea what really happened, but let's call it the Big Bang. And the Big Bang started, and from that moment, an infinite, so much infinite that we can say there is not really a cause, but an infinite movement of cause, and keep happening. And then the Big Bang is expressing in this moment as these words right now, as you being there on the other side of the camera, listening to these words right now. These words right now, my hand doing this movement, my lips speaking these words, this is the expression of the Big Bang right now. And what is happening now cannot not happen. Now, we truly have no idea what's going to happen 1 second from now. We can predict, we can imagine, because we have these amazing brains, we can have a prediction of what could happen in the next minute, in the next 5 minutes, in the next 10 minutes. And sometimes we may be right, but many times we may not, and we have no way of knowing for sure what's going to happen in the next second. We have a possibility to guess. Based on past experiences, we can say, okay, very probably this is what's going to happen in the next second. But we truly have no way to know for sure what is actually going to happen. But whatever is happening now in this particular second, in this particular nanosecond, it cannot not happen. And so the meditation is about connecting to this, we can call it suchness. Suchness is a word that I borrow from the Buddhist. We can connect to this suchness of this moment, which is exactly what is supposed to be, and embrace that moment exactly as it is. Because what we do, and that's the problem, what we do is that because we have these minds that can change reality in the mind, like I can see this hand, but imagine that this hand is a cat, or a dog, or a building. I can do that in my mind. My mind has this amazing power to imagine that this hand is actually a dog, or a ball, or whatever. And because I have this capacity, which is it's an amazing capacity, because I have this capacity, then I also have the capacity to imagine that suchness that cannot be any other way than it is, it can be different from what it is. And because I can imagine that, then I am continuously clashing with the moment between my idea of what it should be, or I want it to be because it's better for me, and the fact of what the moment actually is. And this clashing is at the very essence of our anxiety, is at the very essence of our difficulties, of our suffering. It's very good to think about how I would like it to be, and then work in the direction that I want. That is perfect. I would like my life to be X, and so I will do all I can in order to reach that X. But then, when the moment comes, this moment comes, this moment is exactly what it's supposed to be. And I cannot clash with the experience of this moment. I can again imagine that, okay, I will try to do my best for the next moment to be different. And I don't know if it will happen or not, because my desire enters into a big terrain, into a big field, which I call the world. And then my action may produce what I want, may not, but that's another subject. But there is a possibility that my action will produce what I want in the next moment. But now, things are exactly as they need to be. And it is this understanding which I'm going to bring into the meditation. It is this vision, this understanding, this fact that I'm going to bring into the meditation. The meditation is not going to give me this fact. This is something that I understand in my mind, and then I bring that understanding into the meditation. I'm not going to enter into that, but this is often a mistake that many people have with meditation. They want to get knowledge or new information in a meditation. And it may happen like somebody winning the lottery. Also in a dream, you may get something that you didn't know before. But it's extremely, extremely rare, like winning the lottery. And if you want to be a rich person, you shouldn't count on winning the lottery. You should make the effort to make the money. And in the same way, if you want new knowledge, You shouldn't just count on just hoping that you will have a dream that will give you the information, or you will come into a meditation and suddenly you will have a vision. It's much better to get your information, get your knowledge from the source, and then apply that knowledge in the meditation. Okay, so let's go into the meditation. You know, a meditation without the knowledge is often just, it's nice. It could be a nice, relaxing moment, which is very useful. But I will call it the relaxing moment more than a true meditation. Okay, so for the meditation, I really recommend you to keep your spine long. Just don't slouch, don't round the spine. So try to find a comfortable position. You can lay your back on your chair if you want to, on the wall, or not, whatever is better for you. Usually when I do it on my own, I just sit on a pillow without anything on my back. But it's also fine to lay on something. Keep your chest open, relax the shoulders. Try to keep your neck long, which means don't do this. This puts a lot of pressure on the neck, and then the neck starts to be painful, and then it's very hard to concentrate, to focus when you have pain in the body. Keep your chin gently low so the neck is long and the whole head goes perfectly. The weight of the head goes perfectly into the neck, and the neck in the rest of the body. Close your eyes. Keep your hands in a comfortable place. Maybe on top of your knees, maybe in your laps. The way I do it, I put my right hand on top of my left hand, and then I have my thumbs together on my lap. That's the way I like to do it. Close your eyes. And simply connecting to this moment. Forget everything that I said up to this moment. Put it aside. We will use it a bit later. But try to really let go of everything that I said until now. Put aside your problems, put aside your plans, your desires, your worries. And simply notice this moment. Whatever is in this moment, it's nothing extraordinary, although it is extraordinary, but it is a very ordinary, extraordinary. It's just this moment. Start with sounds. Our more powerful senses are the eyes, but when we close the eyes, then the most powerful senses for most people are the ears. So start to connect with your ears, start to connect with the sense of hearing. And just hear the sounds that appear in this moment. Try not to think too much about those sounds. Like, try not to give them a name. But simply try to hear the sounds, like if a baby was hearing the sounds. You know, an adult and a baby hear exactly the same sounds. The difference is that the adult right away give a name to the sounds. And instead, the baby, which doesn't know the names, it doesn't know what the sound belongs to. For the baby, the sound remains a raw experience. Just try to connect to that. That in itself is a whole meditation. It's not a meditation we're going to do now. But what I just said, that in itself is a wonderful meditation. But right now, just simply connect to the sounds. And just start to see that maybe some of the sounds can be pleasant to you. Some of the sounds may be completely indifferent to you, like neutral. And maybe some of the sounds are not pleasant to you. And so, in the mind, because that's the way our mind is trained, we will try to catch, grasp, want more of the pleasant sounds, be indifferent to the neutral sounds, and we will try to reject the sounds that are unpleasant. But what I would like you to do in the meditation is when the sounds appear, those sounds could not happen. Those sounds are a manifestation, an expression of the Big Bang. That's just one way to say it. We can say the sounds are a manifestation of the whole of life. We can say in religious language, we can say that those sounds are a manifestation of God. Those sounds that appear in this second are sounds that cannot not happen. Maybe I can do something in the future about those sounds. For example, if there is somebody talking very loud, I can stop the meditation, get up, go and talk to the person and say, please don't make any more sounds. And then my action may stop the sounds, but may not stop the sounds. That maybe the person said, I don't care. And then another situation will start. You may have to call the police, whatever. But that is in the future. Right now, those sounds are the suchness of life. In my book, I call it also, this is the desire of the universe. Connect to that. See those sounds as something that cannot not happen. Which means that allow them. Don't resist them. Embrace them. Those sounds are manifestation of the whole of life. And don't confuse the suchness of the moment with what could happen in the future. Don't confuse. Don't go into what could happen in the future. That's another part of existence. But connect to the suchness of this moment and embrace what is. Allow what is, because it is. Because it's not up to you, it's not up to me. It's the power, the desire, is the manifestation of the universe in this moment. Start to connect to your breathing. Start to connect with the air coming in. Notice the air coming into the body. Notice the air leaving the body, but connect just to the body. Start to sense the body. Notice your legs. Notice your arms. Notice if there is movement in your hands, and try not to move your hands. Notice your back. Notice the length of your back. Notice your tummy. Notice your chest, your shoulders. Notice your neck. Notice your face, your head. Connect to the whole of your body. And again, try to connect your body like a baby will experience his or her body. Again, see the difference. If an adult feels their body, they will have thoughts about the body, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is not good. When a baby notices his body, he or she doesn't know that he has a body. The baby only experiences something. Try to connect to that something. Again, we are not going very deep into it. This is a whole meditation. Think of the body without thinking too much about it. And I start to see that in this second, the body is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's exactly what is. Connect to the body. Maybe tomorrow you can do something about the body. Maybe later you can start a new diet to change your body. Maybe you can make a phone call to a new gym to start to make gym in order to change your body. All these things are possibilities starting the next moment. But right now, in this particular second, the body is exactly what it's supposed to be. It is the manifestation of the whole of life in the form of one body. In my case, my body, in your case, your own body. Connect to that body, to the body that is. And embrace that body. Allow that body. Don't fight with that body. Don't resist that body. See it for what it is. Embrace it for what it is. See that this body right now, considering the whole of life, it cannot be different from what it is. Connect to it. Connect to the body. Notice this body and become friends with this body. Love this body as you will love the weather that appears right now, independent, or if you like the weather or not. The weather in this particular second, it cannot be different from what it is. It is impossible for the weather in this moment to be any different from exactly as it is. And it's the same with our body. For the weather to be different, the whole of life has to be different. The distance between the sun and the moon, and the distance between the moon and the earth, and the distance between the whole thing has to be different for the weather to be different in this moment. And it's the same with our body. If you want to make a change tomorrow, go for it. But then, when the moment comes, like this moment, and what we experience is only this moment, our whole life is the experience of this moment right now. When we come to the experience of the moment, we embrace what we find. In this case, the body. Allow it to be. Connect to the body. And see the whole of life in the manifestation of your body. Just like we can see the whole of life in the manifestation of the weather. You can see the whole of life in the manifestation of a garden. You can see the whole of life in the manifestation of the sea. You can see the whole of life in the manifestation of a mountain. You can see the whole of life in the manifestation of this body right now. There is something very beautiful about this moment, independent of my like or dislike of it. When it rains, I don't like it. When it's snowing, I don't like it at all. But there is something very beautiful about the manifestation of that particular thing, independent of my like or dislike of it. It's beautiful because it's the manifestation of the whole, and the manifestation of the whole, independent of my like or dislike of it, is always perfect. My body in this moment, independent of my like or dislike, is perfect as it is because it is the manifestation of the whole. Connect to that. Connect to that manifestation, to that expression, to that suchness, to that beauty, to that perfection. Now start to notice your thoughts. We have so many thoughts coming all the time. We have thoughts that we know that they are thoughts, and they are thoughts even in the that we don't even know that they are thoughts. We are continually thinking. And we can start to understand that this first thought that appears in my mind, that first thought is a manifestation of life. Our first thought. We can say it is my past, it is my conditioning that choose my first thought. It's my conditioning with there is a movement that happens in life. For example, my words are a movement that are happening now. We hear those words, and when these words touch my conditioning, then maybe a thought will come out. But that first thought is not really my choice. It is a combination between an external happening and my own conditioning. What may happen with that particular thought, my second thought, is something that I may be able to do something about it. My second thought is already the future. And if there is enough presence, then I may be able to do something with that first thought. That would be my second thought. But the first thought that appears in the mind is a manifestation of my past. It's a manifestation in my past. It's nothing but the manifestation of the whole of life. Find peace with the first thought that appears in your mind. And then from that peace, maybe there is more presence. And when there is more presence, maybe there is a possibility to hear that first thought instead of reacting to it, to hear the first thought. And then something may be done in the future. Like something may be done about the body, if you feel that something needs to be done. But before, connect to the suchness of this moment. And the first thought that appears in your mind, this thought that pops in your head, is part of the suchness of life. Don't resist it, don't fight with it. Just be aware, notice it, embrace it. It is the same with emotions. The emotions are nothing but the manifestation of our thoughts. We think, and from the thought, even if we don't know that we are thinking, from the belief that we have, from the idea that we have, from the thought that we have, then an emotion comes. But an emotion is nothing that I can do. It's a manifestation that appears in the moment. Don't resist that manifestation. Be aware of it. And then, in the future, maybe there is something you can do when you become aware, when you embrace what you see, when you don't resist what you see. Acknowledge the suchness of life, which manifests as a sound, which manifests as this body right now, which manifests as our first thought, which manifests as an emotion. Acknowledge that suchness, that manifestation of life. Acknowledge it, embrace it, allow it, don't resist it. Connect to it right now. The sound, the body, the weather, my thought, my emotion, the whole of life is just one thing. I divide it in many things for the sake of this meditation, for the sake of talking. But in reality, it's all one. It's the whole of life expressing as one thing, life itself, which manifests as a body, manifests as a sound, manifests as a weather, manifests as one thought. But it's just one thing. It's life expressing itself. Connect to that suchness. Connect to that manifestation right now. Connect to it. And see the beauty, independent of my like or dislike. See the amazingness of it. Just stay with it. Don't fight with it. Even if you get lost in your thought, that getting lost is the manifestation in this moment. Don't resist it. When you notice, return. That is the manifestation of life in this moment. Allow it to be. And this connection to this moment is something that you can come back to it throughout your day. Reconnect with this suchness. Find it in your mind and connect to it. You can reconnect to it in your everyday life, in whatever you're doing, or especially bring it back in your meditation. Stay with it. Stay in that suchness. Touch it and embrace it. Just very slowly. Allow more air to come in, more air to go out. Start to move your hands, start to move your arms, start to move your shoulders. Stretch your arms, move a little bit your back, move a little bit your neck, your head. If you feel like you need to stretch your legs, stretch your legs. Thank you very much. As usually, the meditation could be a bit shorter, but I went a bit too long. If you have any comments or questions about what just happened, you can please write them in the live chat, or later on you can write them below in the comment section of the YouTube. If you have any comments or questions, if you want to give it a like, if you enjoy the meditation, it's nice to see that. And if you have nothing to say or to comment, then that's very good. That's the manifestation of this moment. It's such a freedom, such a liberation, such a wonderful possibility to connect to what is. Thank you, Alexandra. Okay. So I wish you a very nice day. And in the evening, we will do the evening with presence, and we will talk about the third eye in a very special way, or the way that is supposed to be talked about the third eye. I hope to see some of you there, and thank you very much. Have a very nice day. Ciao.